Let me just, first of all, say thank you to each and every one of you who has been a part or for being a part of this third edition of the Big Ideas platform. I'm really excited. And I want to start from the children. I have a series of comments to make, but I want to start from the children. And what we saw today just underscores what the scripture says about teaching the child the path in which you want him to grow. And in his old age, he will not depart from it. In their old age, they will not depart from it. And you can see the impact that the attendance of these children in the last two editions of the Big Ideas platform has had on them. And this is evidence that indeed we're on the right path and that we have a reason to be hopeful about the future of our country. It's fantastic. Please, let's give them a round of applause for the excellent children. And of course, the movie, in quote, we just watched, the play with the drama we just watched, incredible. And I must confess that they've sparked optimism in me once more. And like some members of my generation, from time to time, I will get despondent. I confess that there's certain things happening in our poverty, and we just wonder if we will ever come out of it. But listening to these young people dramatize the importance of community action, the importance of taking responsibility, just inspires hope in me. And I believe that I speak for a lot of people that are here as well. You know, before I make further comments, I'd like to just share a thought in answer to the question when we had the panelists. The matter of what the government can do. And one of the things that was mentioned was to subsidize therapy, build green and safe spaces and others. It's very good. But I have a somewhat adjusted premise in addition to what they've just said. And I believe that we need more than these palliatives. Because my position is anchored on the fact that if government will be government, focused on the welfare and the well-being of the people, quality education, issues around healthcare, environmental sustainability, infrastructure, ensuring security of lives and property, I'm sure that perhaps we may not need as many mental health centers and things like that. So my sense is that a lot of the mental health care issues are basically symptomatic of the very deeply systemic issues of misgovernance in our country. So let's just, put that in mind. And I hope that our students at the SPPG will bear this in mind as one of their reasons for being, one of the reasons why they're getting the training that they're getting. And that said, I'd like us to really pause and reflect today on everything that we've heard from our very distinguished speakers, our keynote speaker, the insights that you provided. Let's just pause and reflect for a moment. And I say let's pause and reflect because the amount of information, the amount of insight we've got can have the effect of actually creating anxiety on its own. As in, oh really? So my brain is dead as it is. I mean that I wake up and I hold phone till 3 a.m. You mean that this meeting I jumped from here, I jumped from there, I thought I was working very hard and really so my brain is gone? And more importantly, I don't want us to go away here with added mental loads. I want us to really take time and contemplate on the things we've heard and see it as opportunity for us to improve our lifestyle, to improve our well-being, and to improve our productivity. Even I have a question for my two younger brothers. And that question, you don't have to answer it now, answer it later. So I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten for a whole day. I have no shelter. And then I have to be calm about it, right? Huh? And then I have to be grateful for being hungry. And then night rain is about to start beating me again. I have nowhere to go. I really want to get an answer to that. But it's a very important framework that has been provided. Because some of what I've just described, for instance, is more of an aberration. It shouldn't be. Because in better organized societies, even if you didn't have work, you can go to a food bank. You can go to a soup kitchen. You will be sure that you'll get something at the end of the month. And so when we see the kind of misgovernance in our country, you're asking yourself, why should our people have to leave, go to bed hungry, when we have human beings sitting in some offices and positions who simply dip their hands and they're making away with trillions and trillions of naira, when some citizens cannot even have access to one meal a day. So what we've learned today, especially from the data shared by Dr. Nevin, is that brain health and mental well-being are not side issues. They are not side issues. They are central, they are deeply human concerns that are also deeply socioeconomic. And so they affect productivity, relationships, innovation, and even national progress. And if we want to build sustainable solutions, we must begin by honoring the human mind as a place that deserves rest, that deserves care and protection. So self-care, ladies and gentlemen, as we've learned today, is not a luxury. It's not a luxury. It is a necessary factor for the success of any solution they were pushing for today. And that is why this edition of the Big Ideas platform, it matters a lot. It matters a lot. But these big ideas do not always have to be grand or complicated, as we've seen. They can be simple. They can be intentional actions, like creating space for silence, as the twins taught us today, building systems of care, or telling stories that help our systems release happy hormones. Like the twins shared, we must learn to slow down and just reflect. So these big ideas push back against the rush and demand of the world. They help us to see that healing and mental well-being are not passive. We must be intentional. They advise us. So, as we live here today, may we go with a new kind of awareness, not just about what needs fixing out there, but what needs tending, what we need to tend in our minds, in our hearts, in our bodies, in our lives. May we become leaders who protect the space in our minds, who model healthy rhythms, and who remember that the best ideas, the big ideas, are often the ones that let people breathe. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Fixed Politics community, on behalf of the School of Politics, Policies and Governance, on behalf of our founder and my colleagues, I want to say thank you. I also want to say thank you to our partners for believing in this vision, for believing in the work that we're doing, and for always standing by us. I wish us all a great rest of the day and a great weekend.